Hey everybody, Gabe Jenkins back to talk to you today about polygons. Polygons are going to be super important in mechanical CAD in general because you need to be able to make hexagons because it's a really common shape in a lot of manufacturing applications. So we're going to learn about how to make a polygon in AutoCAD and talk about some of the few kind of key differences and some of the key things you need to understand about making a polygon. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. You're definitely going to need it if you're going to make today's drawing number 2. And real quickly, you see that it's telling you from a corner to a corner is a distance of 2. That's an important number. That means that from the center point to here is a distance of 1. And you're really, really important because when you're working in AutoCAD and it asks you how big you wanted to make it, you need to know how big you want it from the center point to the outside of the shape. So we'll talk about that. All right, so let's get started. We're over here in AutoCAD, and we're drawing a new element. So it's going to be the Polygon tool is going to be up here. Briefly mentioned it somewhere else. I can't remember where, but you're like, I don't see a polygon. All I see is like line and polyline circle. It's behind the square, the rectangle button. So if you do the drop-down menu, you're going to see there's rectangle there and polygon because rectangle is simply a very specific kind of polygon. It's a polygon with 4 sides. Polygon, poly comes from the Greek meaning many, gon means side. So a polygon is simply a many-sided figure, right? And so in AutoCAD, it allows you to say however many sides you want it to have. You want it to have 3, 4, 20, doesn't matter. It can figure it out, right? But it's definitely it's definitely important because it's the first question that AutoCAD asks you when you're trying to make a polygon, right? How many sides do you want it to have? And so today, because over here, let's just worry about the 6-sided figures. This one's got 6 sides. It's a hexagon. We've learned about hexagons and pentagons. There are a gazillion different kinds of gons, but we're going to enter 6 and enter to make it a 6-sided figure. It asks us where we want to center. Specify the center point of that. Right now I'm just going to click anywhere, it doesn't matter. And then it asks me about inscribing and circumscribing my shape. Inscribed in a circle means it would fit in a circle with a given radius. Circumscribed about that circle means that it would fit just outside of a circle with that radius. So I'll show you what that means in a second. But for now we're going to click on inscribed. And it allows us to kind of like, I clicked on it there, so that's where it sets the center point. And if I just kind of move out here, you can see I might want it to be oriented this way or that way. I've set my snap settings so that when I go straight up, if I want the point to be at the top, I can click there. If I want the point to be over here, I'm going to click there. Well, I look at my drawing, and my drawing looks like it's oriented this way, right? So if I click here, great. If I want to tell it, if I just click, I'll just show you. If I just click, it just makes it that big. I never had to specify how big I want it to be, right? But let's say I want to specify how big I want it to be, right? So if I highlight a point, if I just start a new one, 6 sides is the number of sides I want it to have. Let's say I want it to be in line with this one for some reason. So I click here, geometric center. Let's make it inscribed again. And this time, just by hovering out here, I'm making it so that it's oriented this way. But let's say I want this to have a radius of 50. Okay? That means that from here to the center point is 50 units long. Right? I made this inscribed. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Right? It means that if I were to take a circle, let's make a radius circle. And I made a circle, clicked that as the center point, and said I want the radius to be 50. Well, okay, that's the circle it draws. So what that means is that this hexagon that I just drew a second ago is inscribed within that circle, right? It's inside a circle of a radius 50. So it's inscribed inside that circle. Here's what it looks like if it's circumscribed. If I make a new one, I'm going to say 6 sides again, same center point. Let's say I make it circumscribed. Well, if I kind of go out here again, and I click here, what that means is that this hexagon, slightly larger than the other one, but it means that from this the center point, the midpoint of this side down to the midpoint of the circle is 50. Okay, so there, it can mean all the difference in the world, or it can mean not that much difference. It depends on what you're trying to do and how specific you need to be. But that is the difference between a circle that has been inscribed within the circle or circumscribed about the outside of the circle. And that's it. As far as polygons, so just to be clear, you can make one with, let's say you want to make one with 3 sides. What's the center point? Here. Inscribed. Cool. So you make a triangle. If you want to make one with, 50 sides, you can specify the center point, inscribed. And even though it's hard to see all those sides, this is actually made of many, many, many different sides. Okay? Looks like a circle because all those sides are so small. All right, everybody. So that's the polygon tool. You're going to need it to do today's assignment for AutoCAD drawing number 2. And I hope that was helpful for you. If you have questions, please make sure you ask me. Have a great day.